Today is the last day that I'm going to be at this hotel in San Francisco, where honestly, so much has happened. I wanted to do a little kind of reflection, maybe a little tour of the place as well. I might go outside and film some more stuff, but I don't know. It's been a really interesting chapter. This all started with me going into an accelerator program to do a VC-backed startup. And it's this big change in kind of my career path, direction, whatever you want to call it, because I was doing my agency before. In fact, most of my videos were about my agency. And then I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to go into this VC world. Totally different world. I knew about this VC world because that's where I came from. And then I went into the agencies and bootstrapping, self-funding everything. And then I was, thinking a lot about which way I wanted to come. Fast forward 3 months. I didn't get funded for the things that I wanted to do, in large part because I had an idea, but I then realized I didn't want to go into that particular market. I left the team that I brought in, and so I spent the 2 months, 3 months after that searching for teams and ideas. In the end, none of those teams worked out. I found an idea that I like, but I also have found an opportunity to put in some money in Singapore, but that means I'm basically have run out of money, right? Because I haven't been doing my agency, the income from that has, it just settles salaries and that's it. So I don't really make any money out of it. And so now I go back to Lisbon. There's some part of me which feels like, whatever the worst case scenario was, that's pretty much where I am now. Now, despite that, I still would not change anything about it. I think the lessons that I learned, it's just going to help me immensely. And so the entropy and just going out and trying something new and different and so forth was so incredibly worth it because I will never approach my agency the same way probably. Even though, I came from the VC world, I had never been this far in terms of doing an accelerator full time for 3 months and with other people who obviously were also doing it. This group of people I'm unlikely to see again so soon. Maybe, a small few guys here and there, 3 or 4 people that I'm close with. Everybody else, I made friends, but it's unlikely that we'll stay in touch because that's really, really hard and troublesome when everybody's got their lives and we're all in different cities. And I'm not going to even come back to this hotel. And so it's kind of crazy to me how things have worked out. Not, obviously what I was hoping for, but nonetheless, I feel like I am onto something that is exciting. I want to do this M&A business. And also I have come to realize a lot of things that are really important to me that I've been missing that I need to prioritize, namely community being one of them. And I'm not talking about an online Discord community here. And as much as that might be cool, I realize that I am quite literally missing and lacking in friends that are in the same circles of entrepreneurship and so forth. This is really important for you to get things done fast is have a network, and a network is usually friends. And I have struggled to build that, partially because my friends are spread out all over the place, partially because, even when I was in London, I did some events and stuff, but when you do events, it's unlikely, unless you go to the same event and it's super consistent, that you create close friends out of that. And unfortunately, even if you meet people who you do you have to then schedule to see them again, and they have their own lives. And so it's hard. What you really need is some kind of context within which you meet repeatedly, right? So if you go to school with somebody, you see them every day. And so over time, that friendship is very natural. And you're put in a small cohort of, let's say, maybe 50 people. You will eventually find the 10 that you like. But if you only hung out with them once, you might not meet those 10. That's what happens at networking events and so forth, which is not what I want to do. So that's a big priority for me that I've realized. I already knew this before, but it's more front of mind. And outside of that, I've also realized I want to make these roots somewhere. And also I really want to double down on being clear about what I want and not having to question that all the time. It's the end of a chapter. It's the last day here. And I won't be here again so soon, most likely. Maybe to get some funding in a couple of months, maybe 3 to 6 months. But yeah, this particular hotel with this particular group of people, never again. And that's okay. It's just a fact about life. Here's to the end of a small season in my life, a small little chapter that has, it's relatively small, only 3 months. But I feel like I've learned and grown a lot. And so that's been really, really cool. And that's exactly what I was really here for at the end of the day. Now it's time to go and try and apply some of these learnings as much as I can. Yeah, goodbye to Nob Hill Inn. That's the name of the place that I've been staying. It's a pretty nice place. Can't complain. But we've made an absolute mess of it. This desk is completely decimated. My stuff is over there. My suitcase is by the door. Yeah, I slept on this couch. I slept on some couches upstairs. yeah, all sorts of places because I didn't have a room for some time. Yeah, this place will hold a lot of memories for me for a long time. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to head to the airport and I'm going to be headed back to Lisbon. So thanks for watching as usual.